Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at Donate to.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Guidus TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at Donate to.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah. We're coming to you almost live from our studios right here in Southern California. MashaAllah ta'ala. And it's a wonderful day. Well, actually, it's the night time, so it's a wonderful night. And well, I wanted to talk to you, especially because you are a vital part of what we're doing, especially on the social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, YouTube, because all of you guys who are watching right now, when you go to these different places and you share, you tell somebody about Guidus TV, or you share a video that we have, you're getting the same rewards as we did to make those videos. Now, there's one that we've got circulating right now, and I have to admit that I don't have my own copy of it, so I pulled one off the YouTube. And it was in Arabic, and I didn't realize that the title actually wasn't our title. And it was saying that I blew some lady away with my answers, and that's not how I operate, and that's not what it was if you watch the video. So I just had to explain all of that to the folks, you know. But alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, it is great that we have this opportunity to talk together in our live program. So what I'd like to do is have you to call in, and you can call in right now. I have a number here. Yeah, here you go. That's the number you can call in. Our number here in the U.S. is 800-971. There you go, 800-971-4383. And the WhatsApp number is 817-546-3396. Now, of course, you know you put a 1 in front of that if you're outside the country. Put a +1, right? And then the toll-free number is 1-800-971-4383. And then the WhatsApp number, 817-546-3396. I want you to call. I want you to talk to us about whatever subject you would like, but if you just like to call and say salams, then we could talk about how you can like, follow, and share. Like, follow, and share, because this is what makes everything work. Yeah. If you don't do your job, then my job kind of falls apart, doesn't it? So that's why I'm trying to encourage everybody to take this opportunity to go ahead and, you know, make it work. Make it all work. MashaAllah ta'ala. And what else can we do? Let's see. Well, I'm waiting for you to call me. I think a good thing for us to do probably is, you know what? We should take a look at our Facebook page right now. And if we do that, I think that that's a good idea. our Facebook page is actually not my regular page. It's called y.estes. y.estes, okay? And if you want to go there right now, that's a good idea. You can do that right now. And if you don't want to do that, I'll just bring it up for you. How about that idea? There we go. We'll put Facebook in there. And then slash. Now, you know how that works. You use a slash after Facebook. And then you type in the letter Y. And then that's lowercase. Everything lowercase. Then a period. Y dot. ESTES. Let's see what it brings up. Alrighty. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. I want to show you something. Take a look at this. All right. That young boy that you see right there and we were playing like big shot. What do you call it? Let me give an answer here. Assalamu alaikum.
You have a caller.
Okay. Caller, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
MashaAllah. Where are you calling from?
Texas.
Houston area?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who is this?
Dylan.
MashaAllah. Do you have a question for us, or you just calling to say salams?
I have a question.
All right. Go ahead.
So I'm kind of wondering why you support Joe Biden so heavily on your Facebook channel when he was the #1 advocate for the war in Iraq.
For the what?
For the war in Iraq.
Actually, I don't do all of the stuff on the pages, but I didn't know that that was something that he was the #1 advocate for that. I didn't know that.
Well, I wouldn't say #1. But
Well, you did say it. Actually, he was #1.
Well, I mean, maybe not #1, but he was definitely supportive of it, and him and Obama were responsible for a lot of civilian deaths in the Middle East.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Did you not really watch and then read all the stuff that we put with that? Because if I'm not mistaken, what we were trying to do is ask Muslims, here is somebody that's at least looks like he's trying to do something good for Muslims. And compare that, excuse me, if you're not through talking, I'll be quiet. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. Keep going.
Yeah, because what we were trying to do was to show here is somebody that is like Obama. Now, he went into Egypt. He spoke some Arabic words, not very much, like Assalamu alaikum and stuff like that. But he was looking like he was going to do some good with the Muslims. And I'm thinking that this person who was the vice president of him, who also has his major in theology, which means he knows about religions. Now, maybe he could stick with some of the things that he said. For instance, releasing that ban on the Muslims, that's a serious thing. Mexico, who have children over here that they haven't seen since Trump took office. So there is a multiplicity of reasons why to examine them. And I think this was something we put up before the voting. Is that right?
Well, I think with Joe Biden, I mean, when you look at what the Democrat Party has done to the illegal immigrants, I mean, they've
okay.
started locking them up in cages.
Brother, if you're a Trump supporter, okay, he lost, all right? So there's no reason to go into that, is it?
Well, I wouldn't support either one of them because they both support,
Okay,
Like,
now,
David
see,
ChatGPT
that's
to-
exactly what I don't like. I do not like people that sit by and criticize, but they're not willing to do anything about it. You have a choice. You can either vote for Trump or you can vote for Biden. Which of the two, if you're going to vote, would you have voted for?
I
No,
guess,
you don't have
I
to
mean,
tell me. No. You don't have to tell me. Yeah.
I'm not trying to like attack you or anything by any means, right? But if I had to choose, I would probably choose Trump.
Okay. He has proven again and again and again that he will stick to his word, which is he will destroy anybody who gets in his way. And he doesn't even wait for his own administration. The man was really, by any standards, he was not an average person, and definitely not the kind of person that we expect to rule our country. Now, maybe he would work in some of the other countries around the world, but I don't think that there were 70% of the Muslims who voted. We had 1 million Muslims voted this election. 70% of those, 69% exactly, voted for Biden. 38%, well, here's something else. 38% for Trump. You know what's wrong with those, the two numbers? When you add them together, it doesn't come out to 100%, does it?
No, it doesn't.
So, was it 38 or 28? I don't have the numbers in front of me. But,
Right.
yeah, I think it was 28%. So that means that still some of the Muslims wasted their votes because it wouldn't matter. I mean, my favorite, the one that I liked, if we had the choice, was the one that dropped out. I really thought that he had some good ideas, especially for the...
And who was that?
Well, you don't remember who dropped out?
Was it, you're talking about Bernie Sanders? Or who are you
Yes,
talking about?
sir. Yes, sir.
I
Yeah.
kind of liked Bernie too, not going to lie.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not...
the Bernie Sanders had said a lot of things. Here's the thing about being the president. I don't know if you know this or not, but actually, when I was going to school, they taught us that the president was only going to weigh in if there was a tie between the Senate and the House. Because if there was a tie in the voting, then he weighs in and gives it one way or the other. Now, if it became, over the years, it became that if the Republicans were in party, that they already knew that the president would be with them if there was a tie. But over the last 4 or 5 decades, we've watched some of these presidents get more like becoming premiers or kings, you know what I mean, like royalty. And that wasn't the initial idea behind it. It was a tiebreaker, somebody that would be in charge of the military in time of war. And you do have to have one person, and that makes sense. But over the years, what we watched is this went down to the point that people didn't even care to vote in the regular elections for their senator, congressman, and so on. They voted only at the time when the president was going to be elected. And you were like wondering, why? That's just the tiebreaker guy. But now we see that even when he speaks, when he says, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, he's not talking about himself. He's actually talking about the parties that are talking to him, and he's going to promote their deal. But he's just like a spokesman. You know what I mean?
So I guess my reason for wanting, actually I voted for Trump, and the reason why is because when you look at our economy and you look at the amount of manufacturing jobs, Donald Trump has done more than, I mean, any president really. And when you look at Joe Biden, he says that he wants to do away with the oil industry.
Oh, okay, but
words, right?
but now is not the time to call us up and talk about this, because you know why? The voting's already done.
Right.
And there's nothing we can do about that. However, I will tell you this, that a lot of the numbers that were presented I don't know if you watched different. I watch a lot of world news too. You know, not just here in the States. And I did see that there were a lot of jobs that were lost. I don't know if you noticed about that or not, but the unemployment rate was going up, not down, toward this year. Right before the coronavirus, but I'm sure that didn't help it at all, you know. And we all agree on that. But the thing that we want to focus on is this: as a Muslim, we have to make the best choice for everybody. And just because the country is going to make money, who did make money for? I mean, if you're a billionaire, I can understand why you're for Trump in the last 4 years. Then you can understand that really didn't help. And for us normal poor people, I'm not really poor, but I'm sure not up there with the rich folks. And that's having at one time I was not a Trump supporter, but a Republican supporter back in the 1960s and 70s. And I was in business, and they always told us the same thing over and over and over, that as the Republicans are in, we're going to make more money. And whenever the Democrats are in, we're going to lose money. So we'll always vote Republican. And if that's the case, if somebody thinks like that, and I was buying a Muslim either, but if that's the case, yeah, but look how really wrong that is to think that I don't care about anybody else as long as I make money.
Well, that's the notion that the left tries to push, but I wouldn't say that's true at all, because I've been living off minimum wage, right? I'm not a big college student. I mean, if the way things are set up is, you know, I'm trying to get into the oil industry, right? I'm trying to go get a job in one of the oil rigs. I mean, Joe Biden's already became president. I mean, he's gonna, in his own words, he's gonna transition away from that. So that's already a huge chunk of the economy.
Excuse me, you just said two things in our conversation that, or you don't care about something. You're talking about working in oil rigs. You're talking about working on oil rigs. I heard you just say that. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
You know I'm from Texas, right? You know I'm from Texas.
Right.
And I grew up, and in fact, I went out to Brown and Root one time to get a job out there, and it didn't go through, and I was glad later that it didn't. You know who Brown and Root are?
I've heard of it.
Brown and Root.
I've heard of it. What is it exactly?
Big oil company. Huge oil company. So big they manufactured, well, they had an office in Houston. They had their own foundry, okay, where they made their own equipment. That is big. That's like in Japan or China. They have their own foundries over there, and they make up what they want to make. So, yeah, what I'm saying is that if you know about the oil industry, and one time I was going to get some oil wells up in north part of Texas, and when I found out that the corruption that's involved in that, and I backed away from it. I was also in San Antonio County, and I wanted to make a difference for a lot of people that were coming to my store. I felt sorry for them. And I said, well, if I was the county commissioner, you know, I could make a difference. So I ran for county commissioner. And in the middle of the running up for the thing, I realized that the people around me were con artists, con men, and they were prisoners. They had been in jail. And this kind of woke me up. So I started investigating, and I found out that these guys, they can get you elected real easy by the way that they put the pressure on other people. And I said, I don't really want that. I'm just going to stay here in my not get involved in the politics. So if you're saying that some of the people in politics are corrupt, I agree with you 100%. And if you're saying that some of the people don't keep their word, I agree 100%. But the thing that we put up was for the believers, for the Muslims, to investigate and watch him, hold his feet to the fire and see what does he do. Because if he lives up to any of it, that'll be better than what we saw before. Is that true or false?
That's true.
Okay. That's the reason we put it up. But I'm so glad you called and we had a chance to discuss this. You know why? Because I'd like when we show other people, because we have thousands of people that will watch this in the next 24 hours. I want all of them to know that you and I, we're Muslims and we have no problem discussing something. We could be on opposing sides, but we're not going to turn it into a mudslinging thing like these candidates for presidency did. And that's
Absolutely.
I can have an opinion, and you can have an opinion that's totally opposite. As long as it's not against Islam, it's okay, right?
Right.
And we're not in a Muslim country, so we can't vote for a Muslim because they wouldn't want to running.
Well, not yet, anyways. So.
Hey, I like that. I like that. Not yet, but who knows? We got Johnny coming up here. I got to take another call. Is it all right?
No, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. MashaAllah. Our brother in Houston, Texas, calling us, talking about that. And we got a sister who was calling from Houston at the same time. Sister, if you want to call us back now, you go ahead. We'd love to have you call. MashaAllah.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. It sounds like we got Sister Kim. MashaAllah. How you doing, sister?
Alhamdulillah, doing very well. How are you?
Oh, well, I couldn't be better if I had good sense. MashaAllah. Did you hear about the call that we just had?
No, I'm afraid I missed it. I came in too late.
Okay, well, let's take another caller right now. Let's bring that in. We got the United Arab Emirates on the phone here. Let's. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. 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 I don't know how to answer it. Well, I guess I hung up on him. I didn't know what to do. I heard it ringing. I don't know. Anyway, maybe they'll call us back. We had a brother that, well, there.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Sheikh Yusuf.
Alhamdulillah. 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 Who is this?
Brother, I'm Munib. I've been trying. I went to New Jersey to Sheikh Muhammad Al-Kinani, and he's the one who gave me your number, and I've been trying to reach you, and he's been trying to reach you so he can connect me to you. And I've been driving for the past 2-3 days, and I'm almost in California just to reach you. I came all the way from Dubai only to reach you, Allah.
MashaAllah.
It's a pleasure of meeting you.
Actually, we're live. Did you know that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, let me take another call. All right?
Oh, okay. Sorry
All
for
right.
bothering you.
No problems.
Okay, good.
MashaAllah.
Okay.
We got Johnny in Houston. Let's get her on there. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing, sister?
I got attacked when I was wearing the hijab, and it was outside a restaurant, and I got broken ribs out of this.
When did it happen, sister?
It happened happened a couple of days ago.
That's why we didn't hear from you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm lucky. The thing is, I feel like I should be able to wear what I want without being attacked. I mean, it was just somebody that hates Muslims.
Was it a man or a woman?
It was a man, and he said, "Well, you're not supposed to be here." And it kind of startled me, and I said, "Why not?" He said, "Well, you belong, in the Middle East." I said, "Hey, look, I'm from California. I converted. But we don't want you here." "Well, I'm sorry. This is where I live. This is where I pray." And then all of a sudden, he hits me in the face, and I go down and I crack ribs. And it's because of what I wore. And I think there needs to be more information of the good that Islam does instead of all the negative.
I think you're right. I agree with that.
I am so blessed to have so many good friends, all from Saudi Arabia, all over the place. They've been nicer to me than my own people. But the thing is, now I'm kind of afraid to go out and wear a hijab because I don't want to get hurt.
I agree with
Johnny,
you.
did you report it to the police?
I mean,
Sister Kim is talking to you. Hold on a second. Go ahead, Sister Kim.
Johnny, did you report this to the police?
yes, ma'am, I did, but they don't like Muslims.
The police don't?
They don't. And everywhere I go, I get either followed around a store, I get nasty comments thrown at me, and I'm not bothering anybody. I'm just wearing, every time I have my hair covered, and I wear a black robe. That's what I'm comfortable in. But I've got people coming at me like, well, they think everybody is a terrorist. And, I mean, I'm just in the grocery store. And, I mean, luckily, I just got cracked ribs. But, I don't know, I don't know how people can do that when they don't know something about it. Just because you see someone dressed like I am, so what? I mean, and it could have been worse, I guess.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I didn't grow up with prejudice. I don't understand how someone could go after somebody because they look different. That's what, if we want to wear a sack over our head, we should be able to. But part of it's funny, but part of it makes me mad because a lady come up to me and the ground and said, "Sister, are you all right?" And she thought I was a nun. And I said, "No, ma'am, I'm Muslim." And she backed away from me like, "Oh my gosh." And I thought, I've been called a lot of things, but never a nun. And I thought, where in the heck have you been living? I mean, I wear makeup and it just, it makes me mad sometimes, but a lot of times, when you have someone following you around store asking you to bless them because they think you're a nun. I said, I need blessings because I've got hurt ribs.
Well, that's true.
And this is the second time I've been attacked. The first time I wound up in the ER because they had hit me in the back. And it was at one of the mosques here in Houston. And I made a police report, and no one ever got back to me. And I don't know, what it is. I just don't understand how people can be so stupid.
And mean time.
Well, for my age, I am no spring chicken. I just turned 68 November 5th. And then this happened right before the holidays and everything else. And I just don't understand how people can be so cruel on something that they know nothing about. I mean, I'm still learning.
Well,
I think that's part of it, is that people don't know anything about it. And in not knowing anything about it, it scares them.
Can I weigh in on this a little bit? Sister Kim and Sister Johnny both. I want to tell you that first and foremost, I'm blaming the Muslims before I blame anybody else, because a lot of the Muslims, especially the men, they have laid back and try the ball caps like everybody else does, and wear their clothes like everybody else does, and then just and instead of saying Muhammad, his name is Mo. And instead of Abdulaziz, one of the brothers told me his name is Azi. And, this kind of thing, I think, is the foremost for the men need to stand up. Hold on one second. We got Jasmine. I'll be right back to you, Sister Johnny. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Nahid Hassan. You have a caller. To accept the call.
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, walaikum assalam.
All right. MashaAllah. Who is it from?
This is Yasmin. I'm calling from Dallas, Texas. I'm sorry, I got a little nervous because I'm excited.
All right. Well, we're excited to have you on the show. Oh, Yasmin. MashaAllah ta'ala. All right. Go ahead.
I just had a quick question, actually, because it was, I just didn't have 100% understanding or clarification on it. I spoke to an imam about it. He told me one thing. I just wanted to make sure that it was correct. So the question that I had, that I posed to him was, is it lawful for a Muslim woman to marry a man that is Muslim by definition, meaning one who submits to the one God? Or does it have to be a man who is keeping the 5 prayers and, basically a traditional Muslim?
What was the answer that you heard?
He told me that's fine.
He did, huh?
He told me that, he said as long as, basically he wasn't like an idolater, he worshiped one God and he wasn't an idolatrous person or, doing something that I guess would be considered shirk, then that would be fine. So I wasn't sure about that, so I just wanted to give him that.
All right. Well, Sister Kim, I hope you heard the question too. Did you hear it?
Yes, I heard it too.
All right. Have you heard something like that, Sister Kim?
I've heard people arguing about it online. I've heard answers being given to both sides that as long as someone says they're Muslim, it's okay to marry them. On the other hand, other people say, no, you have to marry a practicing Muslim. So the argument has come from both sides, and it doesn't really seem to make a difference what school it comes from. People are just going out of opinion.
All right. So I'm doing this. I'm not going to give you the answer direct because I want to show everybody how we as Muslims will derive the answer. The first and foremost thing is we pray and ask Allah to guide us to the source of information that will answer the question. Then, based on His guidance, we're going to go and listen to whatever. I don't care if it's a billboard or the phone book or an imam or anywhere, whatever Allah guides me to, I'm going to consider it. However, it doesn't mean that I'm going to accept it to me to do what? Now, what are the things that a Muslim is supposed to do when they have a question? What is the answer has to be based on what?
You said it has to be based on what?
That is the question. That's my question. Huh?
The Quran?
Yes. What else?
Okay.
2 things.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I would say the Sunnah of the Prophet. Peace and blessings be upon him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to bring this up on the, yeah, here we go. That's a little bit too large. In fact, you can only see one letter. That's so big. That make it so you guys can see it more properly. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, this will do it. What I'm doing is going to one of our websites to make it easy for all of us to get an idea of what it is that we're looking for. Now, we do have a website. We have a website, and it's called Search for Islam. Here it is. This is the website right here. And let me see if I can bring it up where you can see it better. Yeah, and I've typed it in, marriage to non-Muslim. So that, and this is like Google. If you know how to use Google, you can figure out how to use this. This is called Sheikh Google, or it's also called Search for Islam. Searchforislam.com, and then marriage to non-Muslim. Any question you got, though, you can put that in there. And then the very first thing it comes up, it says the fiqh of marriage, eligibility. And then another one is right after that. There are choices here. It says, do not marry into problems. And then it goes on to monogamy and polygamy. Then it talks about the fiqh of marriage. Fiqh means understanding, okay? And can a man marry a Muslim girl? All right, we do have that particular question right there. So if somebody was asking that, they would have the answer for that question. Let's see, marriage to Catholics, married to a Hindu, Muslim lady married to a Catholic man. All right, now what is the religion of the person that you're talking about, sister?
So technically, I guess he would be Christian.
No, but I mean, what denomination?
I guess it's kind of hard to. I guess he really wouldn't claim a denomination. He's really, I don't know if you've heard of them before, but it's like an up and come. He's basically like a Hebrew Israelite person, and he doesn't have a specific denomination, but he reads from the Bible, and you know they don't have the or the traditional ways of Christians, even though they're reading the same book.
Okay, well, sister, just the FYI, for your information, I was a prison chaplain for many years. And in that time, I engaged and worked alongside of many different groups of religions, including the Hebrewish Muslims. I didn't know if you had ever heard of that, but there's also yeah.
I never heard of it, but I had a question about that as well, because I was really just studying a lot of stuff, and a lot of questions were coming up because a lot of the issues that I was having with this person which was that he was telling me that, you know, I am basic, and that therefore the Bible is for me technically. So my thing was he was trying to tell me that I couldn't be a Muslim and I guess Hebrew or read the Bible at the same work out, and I really was just trying to get a better understanding, not specifically for that situation.
Let me assure you.
I guess moving forward.
Let me assure you that you did the right thing by avoiding that. Let me tell you why. One of our sisters, whom I know very well, she's a very strong practicing sister, and she was hoodwinked by a guy just like you described. Exactly. And when he got her money, when he got all of her, whatever he wanted from her, then he laughed in her face and told her that he said some real bad words to her and put her down for being a Muslim and laughed in her face. It was really breaking. It was heartbreaking for what he had done to this sister. And I know another sister that was taken in by a convert, man, and he told her this and that, and he reassured her, and then after a few months, it started again, this kind of business, and then it went to the extent that he was being physical on her, hurting her, screaming at her, and putting her down, and making lewd remarks about her, and finally she had to escape. She literally escaped from this guy, like in a prison, you know. So yeah, here's the thing. What does the Quran say? My point to bring all this up was, what does it say in the Quran, and what does it say, especially regarding these kind of issues? Because if you know what the Quran says, then that's fine, and you can find it. And I happen to know where it is. It's in chapter 24, and it starts out from the very beginning. It says Surat Anzalnaha, and that means that Allah has sent down this surah, you know, the surah of the Quran chapter. He goes on to say that he made something fard on us, and it's obligatory, okay? And he said, and we have revealed therein verses of the Quran that it's clear evidence that you can remember, so to remind you. He says, and this is the third verse now, the second verse. It's already in the second verse of 24, and he's right into it. He says, the unmarried woman or unmarried man that is found guilty of sexual intercourse, they are to be lashed, each one with 100 lashes, and do not take pity on them for them in the religion of Allah. If you should believe in Allah in the last day, then let a group of the believers witness this punishment on them. Okay? Now that's what it says for the one who is engaged in the intercourse outside of marriage. This is supposing neither one of them is married. But then it goes on and it says the one who's doing fornication, who is not, the fornicator should not marry except a fornicator themselves, and none marries her except, in other words, if she's a fornicator, then nobody should marry her except another one who does that. That really makes it, in other words, if they're not virgins, now this doesn't mean anything about the one who's legally married or anything like that, but and then it goes on and it's telling us, and if you have your Quran handy, you can, different translations will say it different, but it's interesting, and it goes on to say that the one who accuses, now here's the other part, a lot of people don't realize this, is that you have to have 4 eyewitnesses to penetration. And all of them have to be there at the exact same time, and they know both parties well enough to know that I know this person to be this and this and this about them, and so on. And if you cannot produce 4 eyewitnesses who are all at the same time, then whoever is there bearing witness, but they didn't do it according to this formula, then they get the lashes of 80 lashes, and we don't take their testimony anymore. So in other words, it's almost impossible for somebody that's having relations like that to get caught unless they want to just admit it. And if they want to admit it, then they'll get the punishment. So, yeah, unless, I mean, you know, I don't know what kind of show somebody would be watching to see that, but anyway, it says, but then it goes on to say that, what about repentance? For those who repent and reform, Allah is forgiving and merciful. So you don't need to tell anybody anything about it, just don't ever do it again. And those who accuse their wives of adultery, but they have no witnesses except themselves, that person is not going to be punished. He's not going to get the lashes because he doesn't have the 4 witnesses. But he can't do anything else but accuse her in a court. And then it goes on to tell you in the next verse that even though he brings 4, I swear by God, this is what it's saying. He's swearing by God 4 times. Each time he swears by God that she did this, and I hope I go to hell if I'm lying. You see what I'm saying? And she says, no, I never did that, and he's lying, and I swear by God and hope I'll go to hell. And it doesn't say that in the Quran, but it's, in other words, when you swear by God, that is basically what you're swearing to. So, yeah. And they're telling me I got to take a break. But anyway, I'll finish this up real quick. So what happens is that the 5th time, they give 4 of that, and on the 5th time, that's the end of it. And the curse will be on the one who is lying. All right? Now I got to take this quick break. Sir. Stay on the phone with me, sister, if you don't mind. We'll be right back right after this. All right? And guys, keep us on the air. And here's
that's right, we're right across the river from Palestine. As a matter of fact, here in Aqaba, the new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Guidus TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at Donate to.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine. As a matter of fact, here in Aqaba, the new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Guidus TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at Donate to.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine. As a matter of fact, here in Aqaba, the new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Guidus TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at Donate to.
That's right, we're right across.
All right, guys, we are back. You've been watching our break time. I want you to please make note of how you can support this channel, because we don't take advertising. We don't even allow the advertising on Facebook, and they will just give you free money if you'll just let those ads go. I won't accept it. I don't want to compromise this message in any way, shape, or form. All right? That's always been our policy for the last 25 years, and I want to keep that going as long as Allah will let us. That we need to do that. Okay, guys. So that's how that is. We have our sister on the phone right now. She was telling us about wanting to know more about getting married to a person who is a monotheist but not a Muslim. In Islam, we have a greater protection for the sister in marriage than we do even for the brother. And there's a lot of protection for both. What the Quran is telling us is to be very careful, not just about being Muslims, but also how the person carries on with other people. If this person is a fornicator, they actually practice sex without marriage, then this is something very serious. And I think that we can all realize the outcome of something like this. A man can get away with that, but a woman, if she gets pregnant or if she gets some kind of disease or something like that, this is going to be a real big challenge for her. This is going to be a heartbreaker, because now what's going to happen? How's that child going to be raised up? And that's another problem. And the man who does something like this is usually the kind of guy, he's just going to walk away whenever because if he doesn't want to make the commitment for marriage, why? Why doesn't he? And if he said, well, I got this, I got so and so, well, then just hold off. And we got another caller coming in. Sister, if you don't mind, I'm going to take this other call and I'll be right back with you. Don't hang up, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Nahid Hassan, you have a caller.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Brother Yusuf. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. You need to speak loud now because I don't have a mic on the phone. Go ahead.
Walaikum salam, Brother Yusuf. This is Bilal calling from Pakistan.
All right. Aap Pakistan se hai?
Yeah, yes.
Main Texastan se ho. I'm from Texastan. All right. Go ahead, Bilal. What's your question?
First of all, I wanted to speak for the sister who called in earlier, the one who was assaulted. I want to say to her that, sister, you are very brave, and our prayers are with you, and may Allah grant you happiness and more strength. Amen.
Ameen. And Bilal, we really do appreciate that. I should have voiced that right at the beginning, and I didn't do that, so shame on me. But go ahead.
Making it brief, I faced similar experiences living in the UK. Not physical, but my next door neighbor refused to meet me when she found out I was Muslim, and it's sad but true, but she's very brave. I want to say to her, you are very brave, sister, 10 times more brave than I am. And I'm going to pray for her that she finds the strength to go beyond this incident and have nicer times ahead, inshallah.
Ameen. Beautiful dua. Anything else, brother?
Yes. In case you can remember, I was just a kid at the time, somewhere in the early 2000s. I used to watch a program with you. You used to sit at a desk with some piles of books on the side, and you used to speak directly to the camera.
Yeah, that was my very first series that I did for Pakistan. I was in Karachi, Pakistan, and I had a scholar standing right there beside me all the time, and he was going to catch me if I made any mistake. I remember that.
Goodness. You wouldn't happen to recall the title of the series to find it online or anything?
Oh my gosh, I gave it a name at that time. I think we called it 50 Questions or something like that. Questions for Islam, something like that. But I've never seen this series. I've never seen it. It was broadcast on PTV, But the first broadcast went out to Canada. The next year they did it in the UK, and then they did it in Pakistan, India, and like that. I think no, it was before Zakir Naik started Peace TV, so it was before that. And we didn't really have anything in English in those days, so I was the very best because I was the only one.
Yes, and I remember I used to see like a minute or two of it after I would come home from school every day or whatever. I was such a simple and naive child. Please forgive me, because you looked a little different and you spoke American English. I was wonder, this must be an honorary speaker. He is probably not Muslim, is what my naive little child mind would say to me. So sorry.
Woo! Well, you know what though? I don't blame that on anybody. It just that we should have had a way. I think it's better now because kids can go on the internet and see that there are Muslims all around the world. And you were probably growing up in a Desi community and you saw everybody looked about the same, right? Is that about right?
Yes, yes.
Well, it's same thing happens in the Arab countries. Even if the Desi community goes to the Arab community, they'll be like, nah, he's not a real Muslim.
Goodness.
Yeah, that happens. Nobody is.
That was the first time I saw you. That was the first time I saw you, my first memory. And I always thought, this guy is speaking in such a sweet way. Wow, this is really unique. And that was an incredible way to approach it all. My utmost appreciation on your efforts to get back.
I try to keep it simple and try to keep it sweet. But over the years, we've got it more condensed, real swift answers because you don't have much time on television and people don't have the interest to read anymore like they used to. I go over, wrote 20 years ago, I have to cut it down in half or by 1/3 because I've got to throw out all of the strong explanations and no, just give the answers because people won't read it. Alhamdulillah. I used to write books on answers. Books! Can you imagine? And I published them all on the internet, but I found that people didn't even want to download that free book. So, I don't know. Anyway, it's great to talk to you, Bilal. I got to get back to the ladies. Have you got anything else?
Of course. That's all. Inshallah, speak to you soon. Best wishes to everyone.
Okay. Be sure to tell everybody to watch us on Guidance TV. Are you watching this on regular television or how are you watching this right now?
YouTube Live.
YouTube Live. All right. A lot of people watch us on YouTube Live. I hope that you'll click the button and follow us.
Yeah, already doing that.
All right. Thank you, Bilal. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
MashaAllah. Back when I was a young Muslim, right? I was only 50. Huh? Sister, what's going on?
Yes, I'm still here with you. I just wanted to thank you so much for the last answer that you was giving me because it helped me so much, and it's definitely a blessing. And I just had one more question for you. When you said it, I wanted to ask you about it. What is a Hebrew Muslim? What is that?
They said Hebrew-ish Muslim. That's what they said. And I think they made that up. That was a religion that was prolific in the prisons more so than anywhere else. But they had an imam, an outside imam, who came in the same time I was there. So I just sat down and be quiet in the back of the room. And I didn't say a word because that's my style. There's no reason for me to get in a conflict, especially in a prison. So I just sat there and listened. And he was quoting out of the Bible, and then he'd pull up the Quran and he'd say, "But this is the book right here," and then he'd put it back down. He'd keep reading out of the Bible, and I wasn't able to follow his logic or his reason or anything, but it was kind of one of those things where I thought I heard an amen. Hey, bring it on, preacher, bring it on. You know, like Okay. So I said, all right.
59.
Sister is reminding me we're out of time. Hey, let's continue this tomorrow. How about that?
Yes, sir. Awesome.
All right, Sister Kim, finish the sentence. Get guided with?
Guide Us TV.
All right. MashaAllah. Let's all vote for Muhammad. How I vote for Muhammad. Everybody knows